Hi, I'm Irving, and I'm an Adamaniac. Last time, Shame hit the Bat Trio with fear gas and took Batgirl as a hostage. But Batman and Robin have managed to capture Frontier Fanny, Calamity Jan's mother and Shame's future mother-in-law.
Catching me ain't gonna do you no good, dynamic dingbats. My Shame's got your Batgirl, and he ain't gonna let her go. Not till he's finished committing the crime of the century.
Which is?
Which is none of your business.
She's from that big frontier outside London.
That's a good-looking six-shooter you got up there.
Oh, would you like to have a look at it?
I'd be mighty grateful if you wouldn't mind.
It's a beautiful piece of machinery.
Yeah, that's a beautiful piece of machinery. How much is that?
At $69.95.
Well, that's $69.95. That's too much. Do it shoot straight?
Up to 300 yards.
A pistol accurate across 3 football fields, without a scope or anything. If it can really do that, for that price, I'll buy it.
All right, in that case, stick 'em up.
You know, I had a funny feeling you were gonna say that.
His name was Arnold Stang, and he spent his life making people laugh. Besides bit parts like this, he did a lot of voice work. I remember him best as the voice of Top Cat, one of my favorite cartoons as a kid, and a show I hope to look at one of these days.
Hey, will you put me down? I'll give you all nice presents. Will you stop it? What are you doing? Oh.
If you're going to do that, you may need a bigger moose. If you watch closely, you'll notice that he stays there for the rest of the episode. Calamity Jan sees that her ma isn't there. Shame says by now the police have her. Best to write her off. As if Jan is willing to do that. She wants to drag Ma off to that spread west of Laramie with the two of you. You think she's going to give up on that dream?
Well, we could trade her for Batgirl, like a prisoner swap.
No, that ain't no swap. If I swap like that, I wouldn't have a pot to put my head in for a haircut.
Shame actually thinks he's going to win this. Shame is mistaken.
Oh. It's Chief Stand Pat. He's one of Shame's henchmen.
No, Chief O'Hara. He's obviously here for a reason.
You mean he didn't just wander in here by accident?
Shame willing to trade Batgirl for Frontier Fanny, even up.
As I said, Shame is mistaken. O'Hara says, what's the catch?
You know, try catch 'em us. We let Batgirl go with full scalp safe.
No deal.
That's fine by me. Her scalp look good on my belt.
Just a minute, Chief.
Batman says we can't just let them kill Batgirl. Gordon says what he always says, whatever you say, Batman.
Then you bring Fat Squaw to Central American Pavilion, the Gotham City World's Fair. It closed now. No one bother us. We meet when Little Hand is on 11 and Big Hand is on 12. Chief Standing Pat has spoken.
I'm glad he cleared that up. I thought he was still using smoke signals. It's a trap, of course. Shame and his gang are arranging to get there early.
And then after that, we're gonna...
Bushwhack them.
bushwhack 'em. That Batgirl still tied up?
She's in the trunk of the automobile.
Good. All right, let's go. Come on, let's go.
Tally-ho!
Are you sure he's Mexican?
Obviously, look at the hat. Batman and Robin arrive at the pavilion with Frontier Fanny and find themselves facing a whole passel of guns, all pointed at them.
You wouldn't shoot us in cold blood.
Cold blood, hot blood, warm blood makes no never mind to me. Just pass over our Frontier Fanny.
Where's Batgirl?
Don't make a deal, Batman. They'll gun you down.
The instant Fanny moves away from them, they're full of holes. What to do?
I have in my utility belt a bat chemical, which changes the physical property of metal and makes it 20 times heavier. Let's see how effective it is.
Watch it, Shame! He's up to a trick.
It's fight time. I wonder how long Batgirl will have to stand there before someone unties her so she can join in. Never mind, she's got this. Who knew his dance button was in his foot? Batgirl is finally loose. sometimes 3 bats really are better than 2. It depends on where we are in the episode.
Come on, let's get while the getting's good.
Batman's chemical made the candy in the piñatas 20 times heavier too, because it has iron and other minerals in it. In Gordon's office, Gordon is still fretting about Barbara, while Batgirl stands next to him and reassures him in what is clearly Barbara's voice that Barbara is all right. He's not sure he believes her. I'm not sure I believe someone that thick can rise to the position of police commissioner, even in Gotham City where everyone is an idiot. The only thing Batgirl remembers before the fear gas wore off was talk about the great train robbery. After some pointless pondering, O'Hara offers to spring for soft drinks for everyone.
I better be turning this one into the bank. It looks like it's been in circulation since the turn of the century.
Chief O'Hara, that's the answer.
It is?
Today's the day when the government ships all the old money out of town by train to be burned.
I would hope a train like that is well protected.
I make the same trip every month at the same time. Never even came close to a robbery. It's practically impossible. This train doesn't stop for anything. You know, they'd have to sever the rails with an acetylene torch to even slow it down.
Check. What's next?
This car's made out of 3-inch armor plate. It's impregnable. Nothing can crack it. With the possible exception of a 283-carat diamond drill.
Now we know what all that was for. Shame read the script and saw this guy's lines and knew exactly what to do.
That fear gas works every time.
By the time Batman gets to the train, Shame and company are gone with all the cash. All Batman and the others can do is give the guys on the train the fear gas antidote. But Batman has an idea.
What is this you're tinkering with?
It's a Skyrider drone, Alfred. I programmed it to write a message across the sky.
If we're lucky, Shame will see it.
Right now, Shame has other things on his mind. He estimates there's about 60 million in usable bills.
And how is this vast fortune to be allocated?
Yeah. He's Mexican, all right.
You can tell by the accent, obviously.
Look, Fred, I got no truck for a man that talks 8 pounds to the word. Now, you talk English like us normal folks or don't talk, Fred. Get it?
Got it.
Good.
We've waited an episode and a half for him to do that.
Well then, how do you plan on divvying up the spoils?
That's better.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound as authentically Mexican as the other way.
Look! Open sky!
It's a bird.
It's a plane.
No, it's a message for me.
You're all correct. It's a plane with a message giving Shame the bird.
Shame, you are a lily-livered coward. Meet me on Neptune Ave in the deserted and condemned tenement district at high noon if you think you can beat me without your gang or your guns. Just bring your 2 fists and I'll bring mine signed Batman.
You don't want to know how much sky it took to write all that. Batman knows it's going to be an ambush, but he insists he has to go unarmed and unprepared because walking face first into a trap and getting yourself killed for no good reason is the honorable thing to do.
This town's got to be cleaned up so that little children are safe and happy and healthy growing up.
And we know Shame is a threat to little children because last time he even stole a kid's radio. Batman is actually saying his last goodbyes to the gang just in case. It reminds me of Tombstone when Wyatt Earp was getting ready to face Ringo. Oh well, he's gonna kill me, but I have to go let him do it because honor and all that crap. Were it not for YouTube's rules, I'd have a nice 2-word answer for that.
You wait, me and Batman is 20 feet apart, and I want you to drill him and drill him good. And I don't want just blood, I want gore. Get it?
Got it.
Good.
And if the joke is worth using, it's worth overusing.
Good luck, Shame, honey.
Dumpling, I don't need luck as long as I got you.
Couldn't you just get sick?
I've seen way sappier than that. I raised 3 girls.
Hey, Batman, you fake! Don't you ever smile? You look grimmer than a losing football coach.
Perhaps I should unbend a little. Thank you for the constructive criticism, Shame.
Oh, Batman scores first with a successful reversal.
Your mother wore army shoes.
Yes, she did. As I recall, she found them quite comfortable.
Another point to Batman for a solid upend.
I'm gonna keep on insulting you till you run out of cheeks to turn.
If you need to be vitriolic, vituperative, and vindictive, Shame, you go right ahead.
3 points to Batman for a multi-syllable alliteration. This is not looking good for Shame.
I'll take the 2 women, you handle the men.
Right.
Unfortunately, Batgirl being a lithe young college girl and Robin being a typical teenage boy, they got a little distracted, and the memorial to Batman in the center of the city is pretty impressive.
Now it'll be fair.
That is some of the worst editing I have seen yet. We don't even get to see what the bat ropes did to them or their weapons. For all we know, they slid right off everything and the gang wiped out Robin and Batgirl too. Show us the result, not 2 kids running out of frame.
How far you figure we are apart?
18 feet, 6.5 inches.
We're less than 20 feet apart.
Subtle, Shame. Batman won't suspect a thing.
You big sissy, you couldn't drive nails in a snowbank.
Why would I want to?
Batman scores again. Shame has yet to put any points on the board. This is looking more and more like a total blowout, folks.
You're pretty handy with your mouth, Shame. Much more so than with your fists.
Oh, no! No, spare me, Batman. I ain't nearly as ornery as I ought to be. Ooh. Oh, don't do that, Batman.
Robin, Shame's humping my leg again.
You're not worthy of the name Shame. You're a sham shame.
Name, shame, sham, shame. Suddenly this feels like Ted versus the FCC. Now he grows a spine. Well, we have all these props and sets that we don't need anymore, so let's destroy them. Batman didn't get the message from the first one. He had to go back for seconds. That's most of the props and the biggest parts of the set, so let's wrap this up. Of course, just use the famous Batman silent knockout punch. No villain can stand up to it. Shame and his gang are rounded up, and presumably the money has been returned to the appropriate authorities.
At last, maybe things will get back to normal around here.
This is normal, Chief. For Gotham City, this is just another day.
Normal, Chief O'Hara? With that famed Yale professor of Egyptology back in his King Tut alter ego, escaping from a Gotham City prison psychiatrist's couch to begin another cunning caper calculated to confound our terrific trio.
See? It's not Gotham City unless there's a super criminal running around somewhere. Shame is back in prison, and I assume Fred and the Chief are there with him. Frontier Fanny and Calamity Jan are on cell scrubbing duty in the women's prison. One day, Calamity Jan came upon Shame's former girlfriend, Okie Annie. 30 years later, they still talk about that meeting. They say you can still see little tufts of hair on the walls. I'm Irving, and I'm an Adamaniac.